On today's show,
Let's overreact. It's just one game, but
the Knicks are no longer laughable.
Jahlil Okafor is going to the Hall.
LeBron's getting a bed by the bench.
And hold on tight, because here comes the meme team.
It's Thursday, October 29th. The Starters starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to the Starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast or watching us on NBA TV or YouTube, we're happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets. Alongside me, as always, Tas Melis.
Happy first Thursday of the NBA season to you.
To his right, a little further down the table, International Man of Mystery, Lee Ellis.
Friends.
Lele.
Lily, and finally, last but not least, Starters blog editor, and my twin here today, the Arnold Schwarzenegger to my Danny DeVito, Trey Kirby.
Hey, yo!
TK.
Yeah, I'm over here at the big board checking tweets, looking at hashtag the starters, and if you're wondering how to get on the big board, you got to make us something very cool like Kevin Zwerble did. These awesome custom jerseys for all of our favorite teams. We've got me with the Bulls, Skeets and Taz with the Raptors, and Lee, of course, with the 1987 All-Star Game.
Looks
great.
I can't have 15. That's retired by Jorge Garbajosa.
A lot of legends.
Not
on that
Vince
number.
Carter. Not Amir Johnson.
All right, so we're looking for stuff like that, creative
Cool stuff.
All right, cool stuff, weird stuff, any type of stuff.
Raw stuff.
All right, we got a great show lined up for you tonight. We're going to start with a little something we did last year. It's called It's Just One Game But, because every team has now played at least one game in the association. So let's completely overreact.
Let's do it.
Let's blow things out of proportion. Let's make mountains out of molehills. What do you want to start with?
I'll get us started with the Knicks. It's just one game, but no one will make fun of the Knicks this season. Nobody. I was watching this game yesterday against Milwaukee Bucks. This is a professional basketball team again. There's ball moving around. There's bodies moving around. They're passing when there's a double team. They have a bench. They have a rookie that wants it. He's going out and getting 12 free throws because he was getting after it. Their bench outscored the Bucks by 41 points.
Ooh.
I can't believe what I was seeing.
That was one of the biggest surprises of the night.
It was phenomenal. And a little on Kristaps Porzingis to get 12 free throws in your debut there. It's cool how he's playing with vets, and I was just overwhelmed. Obviously, the Bucks were shorthanded, and that's not going to happen a lot. But this looked like a real team.
It doesn't matter because it's the New York Knicks, and that's one of the most cohesive performances we've seen from them for years, really. So they blew out a team that made the playoffs, even though they were shorthanded last night. And Porzingis, he didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but that didn't really drag him down for the rest of his game, and that was what was impressive to me.
The Knicks hadn't scored 115 points in a regulation game at all last year, and they go out there and put up 120 plus on the Bucks. And they did that without Melo going crazy.
Exactly.
Melo had quite frankly,
points.
a bad game for
He did.
Melo. Yeah, 4-16 shooting, only 11 points, he said. Yeah, that's really impressive that they at least got contributions from everyone, be it Williams or Grant, or you said it, Porzingis, goes down the line.
Taz has said it a couple of times. They just have grown-ups. They have professionals on their team, so it's a lot harder for them to be a laughingstock because they have guys who have been in the league for years and know what they're doing. That's a huge change from last year.
Sasha Vujicic is alive. He got the
Speaking of
start
legends.
in Aaron Aflalo.
Machine.
They're just guys who know how to play, top to bottom. Kyle O'Quinn coming off the bench. There's some real players on this
Why
team.
didn't you really overreact, though? Why don't you tell me the Knicks are going to win the championship?
Hey, I said they were going to make the playoffs.
You did,
crazy
actually.
enough.
In reality, you said that. All right, let's keep it going here because we got a lot to get to. Lee, it's just one game, but.
It's just one game, but Jahlil Okafor is going to the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
We know
I'm
his
in.
hero is Tim Duncan. He idolized Tim Duncan. Now, he's obviously not Tim Duncan, but if you watch the way he played last night, he played in a similar style to the way Tim Duncan plays. A lot of dinkers and dumpers there. Tassa, you would have been impressed with that.
Quite dinky.
Now, you know, what I like about him is he's got those great soft hands, so he can finish well around the rim, or he can knock down that little jump shot. He hit his first 5 shots of his NBA
Yeah,
career.
it's
It
a
did
good
not
start.
look like his first game of NBA basketball. He looks like he's got a great body for the NBA, and he looks like he's ready.
Yeah, I kind of don't think this is necessarily an overreaction. I think he could be a Hall of Fame player because you see him running the court. He looks so much bigger than a lot of the guys that are out there that have been in the league for years, but he's still athletic. He's still got that crazy finishing ability like you're saying, Lee, and he's got a nice little jumper. He was making moves off the dribble. There's a lot of stuff to appreciate from Jahlil last night.
He really outmuscled Tyler Zeller a couple of times, and then they put Sullinger on him, who's a bit of a bigger body, and so he had to change his game, and he did, and that's pretty smart for a young guy in his first game of NBA.
All three of you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, in our preseason 72 burning questions, you all had Okafor as your rookie
You're
of the
not
year
wrong.
pick.
You're
Lock
not
it
wrong.
in.
And, look, you see the stat line there. That's what you're going to want in a rookie of the year candidate.
10 of 16, 26 points. And as you mentioned, he hit his first 5 shots. Those first 5 shots within the first 6 minutes of the game. And that's why I think he's going to be rookie of the year, because they're going to go to him over and
He's
over.
gonna
They
get a lot of
don't really
touches.
have much of an offense outside of him.
That said, my pick, Emmanuel Mudiay with the Nuggets, he had a pretty good NBA debut as well. He didn't put up as many points as Jahlil Okafor, but that was also a surprise. The Nuggets blowing out the Rockets. No, I don't think anyone
Nobody
had
saw
that
this one,
on
no.
opening night. They crushed them. He had 17 points, Mudiay did, 6 of 13. He hit 3 threes. You'd love to see that from a 19-year-old coming in the league. And I was just blown away, and this is what we knew about him, the court vision.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 9 assists. Yes, a lot of people are going to go, well, he also had 11 turnovers.
Near triple-double.
That's fine.
You can ignore those, though, in a win, and all the other aspects of his game were so impressive.
I don't even care because I like that Coach Malone is like saying, here, you handle the ball,
Yeah.
you make mistakes, you're, trial by fire here with him. He's their starting point guard.
Yeah.
He's young, he's going to make mistakes, and a lot of them were just sort of either rushed or bad looks, passes. What I'm getting at, that he'll cut those down. I mean, you're not going to see that many.
Yeah.
But he's probably could be in the running to lead the league in turnovers just because he's going to get a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
And he's a 19-year-old kid running an NBA offense. But I loved what I saw from him as well. And we saw a couple of the rookies, good performances all around for the most part.
Mike Malone really fired up the Denver Nuggets because he was saying a lot of people are saying they're going to finish 27th, 28th, somewhere around there. He told his team that. He said, go out there and play like that. And they went out and hammered the Houston Rockets, even though Dwight wasn't playing. But we didn't expect that performance
No,
from Houston.
like the Knicks blowing out the Bucks
Yeah.
in Milwaukee, that was a bit of a surprise. What else, though?
All right, moving on, the Clippers. There are a lot of personalities on this team. It's just one game, but the Clippers' personalities are going to be just fine. They're going to get along so well. Lance Stevenson, Josh Smith, Paul Pierce, a lot of enigmatic personalities have joined this team. And if you didn't know, Lance Stevenson joined the starting lineup, surprisingly.
Yeah.
And he was a little excited to start. He threw a ball out of bounds. The guys had to tell him to relax, because that's Lance Stevenson. Hey, relax,
Look at
Lance. And that he did. He played 19 minutes. He only had one turnover, that one we showed you. He hit a three-pointer, which he didn't really hit last season. Josh Smith came in, 60 minutes off the bench, 4 blocks in those 60 minutes. And Paul Pierce did what Paul Pierce does. He scored, got into double digits. Those few guys, and I mentioned the minutes, Josh, 16, Lance, 19. Usually you'd think that they might complain if they didn't get a lot of minutes, but I think that's all going to work out. I think they're comfortable in their roles. I know it's just one game, but I actually think this one is true. I think they're all going to get along. Doc, Pierce, Chris Paul, I think there are enough personalities to keep those guys in check. And Lance, I was kind of surprised that he's in the starting lineup considering he's not really a shooter, and that's what he should be doing at the 3 spot. Matt Barnes, the guys that they've tried over and over, but I think they want him there. Number 1, to be another ball handler, and number 2, to take the best defensive wing, like a Kevin Durant in the future. And he can do that. So it's just one game, but I think they will get along.
All right, I know one that's going to be true. It's just one game, but Andrea Bargnani is going to kill his head coach, Lionel Hollins. I hope you caught this. Bargnani, who actually had a decent
good
game
one.
last
He did,
night.
17.
But he fired up a fantastic air ball with 15 seconds to go on the shot clock, and poor Lionel Hollins, with his mangled fingers and all, he can't believe what he's seeing here. It could be a long year for poor Coach Hollins.
It could be. It is a little unfair on Andrea because he did have a pretty good game himself. But
He did. 17 points on 13 shots, 7 boards, but of course,
Put that one up a little early into the shot
He put it
clock.
up a little early. All right, we want to hear from you guys. Make sure you jump on Twitter, hashtag the starters. Trey's got his eye on it. Fill in the blank. It's just one game, but go wherever you want with it. Get crazy. We got lots more still to come. We're going to continue with the overreacting, including whether Ricky Rubio is the new Kyle Korver. Or is he the new Michael Jordan? Or is he the new Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? You get the idea. Come on back. You're watching the starters.
The Spanish Michael Jordan.
Woo! Back with the starters. Continuing to play It's Just One Game, but, and I know you guys are chiming in on Twitter, blowing up Twitter, the hashtag the starters, filling in the blank of It's Just One Game, but. What do we have, TK?
A lot of good stuff, and apparently you guys didn't take it far enough with the Knicks because Brian Lloyd says it's just one game, but the Knicks are a dynasty.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Negative Dunkalectic says it's just one game, actually, too. But Kendrick Perkins is the best player on the Pelicans.
Yeah.
He's been killing it. And my favorite so far, it's just one game. But Trey Kirby and his 1998 Bulls hat is the ticket to winning a championship. 2-0 so far.
2-0 since you've been wearing the hat?
That's exactly right.
Nice.
All right. Continue to play along. Jump on Twitter, hashtag the starters. Yeah, we're cool, man. All right, let's continue here. I'll start us off. It's just one game, but Ricky Rubio is the new Kyle Korver. I believe this. And I think what's happened is, like what happened with you and the Greek Freak when we were picking overrated players, Ricky Rubio heard me call him
Listen to ya.
overrated
Yeah.
in the 72 burning questions. He didn't like it. He said, screw Skeets, and he goes out and he puts up a career-high 28 points last night to go along with 14 assists. They rally, the Wolves do, from a 16-point deficit. They beat the Lakers. He shot 10 of 17, though. He hit a couple threes. And, that's why I was sort of saying, well, maybe he's overrated because he's never really found a jump shot or a three-point shot in this league. I mean, he shot, 22% or something
Yeah.
from downtown last year in limited action, I know, because of the injuries. But if this guy has a jump shot, then things have changed. Honestly, you have to play him completely different
Yeah.
if he can knock that down with any sort of consistency.
He looked like a different player.
He did.
Came out from the start too, aggressive, looking for that
Yeah.
shot. It wasn't like it was just at a different point of the game. He was out there to almost send a message that, hey, I can shoot that shot and you are going to have to respect it. He did it at the start and he did it at the end, at crucial points of the game.
He's never shot over 40% from the floor in the 4 years that he's played. This is his 5th year here. And it was 25% from 3 last year in the 22 games. But he's always struggled with that. I was blown away. I mean, again, it's just one game, but if he adds that, and this, what it reminded me of is Jason Kidd when he came to the league.
Yeah.
Couldn't shoot. They called him Asen Kidd because he had no J, and then he added that to his game, and that's sort of think of what we're waiting for maybe Ruby to do here.
Not to get too spiritual here, but I
Yeah.
think he won this for Flip Saunders. He
Oh,
had
sure,
an out-of-body
absolutely.
experience.
Sure.
And he was pretty emotional. He's never averaged more than 10.5 points a game. This is
Yeah.
a
28.
he was totally a different guy yesterday. But I can top that one. It's just one game, but DeMarcus Cousins is the new Kyle
Oh, wow,
Korver.
you're gonna love
Forget
me.
Ricky Rubio. DeMarcus Cousins is the three-point shooter no one has ever seen before. DeMarcus Cousins hit 4 threes yesterday. He's hit 12 in his career, or 11, I should say. That's 2 a year, and he hit 4 last night. Now I can't get behind this. I know he can shoot
not?
it because there is one man who can dominate in the low post like DeMarcus Cousins, and
Yeah.
his name is DeMarcus Cousins. Nobody can play down low like DeMarcus. I just find it hard to watch him shoot threes. Even though he can, he is so talented, and it opens up the floor because it opens up
Okay,
the floor.
but there's a bit of a
This
difference.
guy can dominate and get easier shots for his teammates because he's dominating down low, and his teammates just aren't as capable as he
Okay.
is. They're just not as talented. So go get them easy shots by dominating down low.
That all said, it's not like DeMarcus Cousins is posting up in the corner, in the weak side corner, and then they're going to threes. A lot of those were in that sort of semi-transition there,
Yeah.
where he's the last guy down the floor anyway, because he's a big guy.
Yeah.
Then they pass it to him, they let it go. He was
And he only
shooting
tried
it
5
with
of them
confidence.
well. It's not like he's jacking up 10 or 11 out there.
No,
he's gonna
that would-
start.
4 or
Yeah,
5.
he might.
Yeah.
We should have a big man three-point shooting contest. I know Dirk and Kevin Love want it, but they're kind of shooters anyway.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis had 3 himself
Yeah.
last night, so maybe that's something for the All-Star weekend.
You want an All-Star weekend in Toronto. Big man
Yeah,
three-point contest.
yeah.
I don't mind it. All right, keep it going, Lee.
It's just one game, but CJ McCollum will lead the league in scoring this year. One night after Steph Curry dropped 24 points in the first quarter on the Pelicans, CJ dropped another 22.
So he's going to be MVP.
He might be, yeah.
A lot of tweets saying so.
Finished with 37. But, this guy is the guy that I mentioned in our preview shows who I think will be the most improved player.
That's a good pick.
Yeah,
It really is.
But this started last year in the playoffs for the Portland Trailblazers, especially the last 3 games against the Memphis Grizzlies. He averaged 25 points a game. It carried over to the preseason, and now 1 game in, he came out again on fire last night, and it was fantastic.
Someone has to score alongside Damian Lillard, too. That's the big part with CJ McCollum. That's a good MIP pick. It is just 1 game, but he's going to be on the short list for sure.
All right, moving on. Just going to change this one up a little
Yeah.
bit. It's only 2 games, but LeBron James is going to get a bed on the sideline. Now, if you've seen him,
Fascinating.
He's been lounging. He has back problems. He looks like Larry Bird, Steve Nash,
Yeah.
lying down, trying to remedy his back. He had an anti-inflammatory injection a few weeks ago in that back. It also came out that he had one last December, and that's why he rested December to January, because he was trying to recover from that. Brian Windhurst reporting that. And we've just made a bed for him. Trey made it. Enhance. Let's get a little bit closer, please. Let's see those cushions. There he
That
is.
looks nice.
He's
yeah.
lounging.
Well, they have extended the
Nice
room at
beds
the
for
end of the baseline this year. Maybe they can squeeze a little bit in
Is
there
that an
for him.
IKEA?
I don't know where you picked that out. Maybe
'Cause I don't
Crate and
think
Barrel,
you'd-
maybe CB2, who knows?
Yeah, I mean a little bit more high-end, I'd assume.
You would think so. All right, so he's going to have a bed. All right, final one here. It's just 1 game, but we are hitting 50 wedgies, excuse me, this season. We're getting to the 50 wedgie mark because we've already got 1. Yes! Already have 1 in the books. It was the Jazz and the Pistons. Marcus Morris, shout out to you in the 3rd quarter, sticking it Ersan Ilyasova, let it breathe, man. Don't take it down right away. It's the first one for crying out loud. But again, the first one of the year. Put it up on the board.
Put it up, Trey!
I'm trying to put it up. I'm trying.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yes. We're trying to get to 50. We got to 47 total wedgies last year.
More dancing. Just what the
But
fans
this
wanted.
is the year we get to 50. We're calling it now. We're calling it now. All right, we gotta take a break. When we come back, keep dancing, boys. Everyone loves the dancing moves. Where's those jackets? When we come back, the meme team returns. You're watching the starters.
We'll stink.
Welcome back to the starters. During the break, we're having technical difficulties with our wedgie board.
No doubt, a little elbow grease.
That zero didn't want to come off. But in the end, Trey Kirby got it done. And there it is.
Wedgie board.
Marcus Morris with the first NBA wedgie of the season, or wedges as I'm now calling them.
So hungry.
I think it is because I'm hungry. You're absolutely right. All right, let's get to the meme team. It's been so long, guys. We've scoured the internet to find the weird and wackiest moments from the past couple days, and we got a new graphic to boot.
I'll start you with a weird one. Number 5, Sixers Nick Stauskas, or Sauce Castillo as we know him, pouring hot sauce onto a basketball in a video produced by Comcast. I want to shake the hand of the man that messed up that closed captioning that called him Sauce Castillo.
Oh, yeah. Really changed Nick Stauskas' career.
He's
man.
happy about it, too. At number 4, during a break in the first half, a Grizzlies fan hit a half-court shot to win a car? No. A TV? No. Free tater tots for life.
Life for life.
For life.
What a
Lot of
gift.
thoughts.
At number 3, thanks to our colleagues at Bleacher Report for creating this catchy video, Hot Wings on Broadway. Porzingis the musical.
Porzingis, Porzingis, is he the Latvian Dirk or Latvian Sean? Porzingis, Porzingis, is he the Latvian
I guess all
Dirk?
we can do is wait to see if this guy turns out to be Dirk.
Catchy little song.
We told you it was weird.
At number 2, the Detroit Pistons putting together the longest alley-oop ever, featuring such celebrities like John Oliver and Jalen Jacoby and these losers here, minus Taz for some reason.
I can't act like these guys.
But the star of it, Lee, you're gonna love it, Eminem,
Shout out
finishing
to
it
Marshall
off
Mathers.
to Andre Drummond
Spaghetti.
for the longest oop. Good stuff.
At number 1, the Wizards' Ramon Sessions, hustling for a loose ball, goes into the crowd, and this man in the front row gets his money's worth. Hey, what's with the grab? Keep your Ramon Sessions in the bedroom, my man.
You guys should get teed up for that.
That's making the year-long meme team.
You think so?
Oh, man, it's so good.
You're going to see that a billion times.
Oh, yeah.
He sort of gives a creepy look to the camera, too. He knows he's doing it.
He knows what he's
You know he's gonna get on the meme team. All right, tomorrow, guys, it is Friday. We're excited for our Friday show because it's gonna be a Halloween special. Last year we had some fun. Trey dressing up as LaMarcus Aldrich. I was JJ Dedick, Danny Scream, that's Lee there, and my favorite, Dwayne Bane.
Bane Wade.
Whoops.
Dwayne Bane.
Sort of
That worked. Yeah, that worked.
So we're gonna be doing a similar thing tomorrow. But it's inspired us to go back to some of our favorite throwback Halloween costumes.
Yeah, hashtag TBT. We're looking at the best Halloween costumes in NBA history. This first one, you're thinking, what is it? It's Dwayne Wade going as Justin Timberlake, he said, but really, just super creepy.
That's creepy.
Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Paul Pierce. This is back in 2010 when he went as a frog. He's also been Buzz Lightyear, Captain America. He kills it. Serge Ibaka a
that's so
couple
good.
years ago. The Coming to America Prince Akeem, legendary. Darren Williams in 2014. A very popular costume going as Khal Drogo with his very own Khaleesi by his side. Love it. Also in 2014, LeBron, as part of an ad, went as Flo from Progressive. Looks as good as Lee Ellis does with long hair. And this group shot from
Long hair's
2013, Kawhi Leonard going as Popeye, Marco Bellinelli going as Mario from the video games, Buzz Lightyear making an appearance, and my favorite, Nando De Colo as a super weird Mad Hatter.
Nando De
And
Colo.
I hope you saw Dirk
Oh,
as
yeah.
Lurch this year. We'll show you that tomorrow. Again, Starters Halloween special, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll have whole new NBA/Halloween costumes, so you'll have to tune in to see which ones we're wearing. Got to take a break, one more, but when we come back, Lily's very solid play of the night. Oh, Spurs were in action.
They were.
That means Ginobili wins. Welcome back to the Starters. Here's a look at last night's pick 'em play results. 3 of us had the Thunder, so we were happy with them pulling it out in the end. Lee, obviously took the Spurs.
They were looking good there.
They
till
were
about
looking good for
Kevin
a while.
Durant took over at the end.
You see the records at the bottom there, that's going to be up to the end of November. You don't want to be in last place because if you are, you're doing something weird on the show. We'll ask you guys for suggestions. If you have anything, we've had Tass eat a stale fruitcake.
Crushed it.
Crushed it. You know, ran on the treadmill. Tass had to do the show as a puppet. Trey got into the fun once, getting a pie to the face. So if you have an idea, let us know. Hashtag the starters. Tonight's picks, 3 of us have the Hawks. Kaka. Lee,
I'm a believer.
you're
How
going
dare
up,
you.
going crazy again, taking the Knicks. I guess they're going to win the championship. They're a dynasty.
Well, Charles Barkley and Tass Mellis believe in him. Good enough for me.
So Lee with the Knicks. The 3 of us have the Hawks. That's what's on TNT to get us started on the TNT doubleheader. Trey, we have a couple more suggestions for the fill in the blanks of It's Just One Game But.
That's right, people lighting up hashtag the starters. We got this one from Daniel who says it's just one game, but John Wall will average infinity blocks per game. 5 last night. There's a 5x5 candidate.
Yeah, he was
also
close.
good.
Steals off, yeah.
Jet says it's only one game, but Linsanity is back! I don't know about that one.
Is it?
And finally, the Greek Mamba says it's just one game, but Kawhi Leonard is the defensive player of the year. And if you saw him guarding
Oh,
Yeah.
Kevin
Durant.
Durant last night, that was some crazy stuff.
That's
he
not
had
an
the
overreaction. Yeah.
LaFonso Ellis like block where you just grab it into
Yeah.
your hand then and keep it there. That was
Yeah.
an amazing matchup. All right, keep them coming, guys. Lee, let's get to the very solid play.
Yeah, the Spurs took the loss last night, but
You seem so
the
disappointed
very
already.
solid play. Granddaddy of them all, Manu, was in action.
Yep.
And he was out there dropping pesos to his old mate, Tony Parker. I don't know what the exchange rate is from
don't know what the
pesos to
exchange
euros.
rate is.
But they got a lot of value on this play. Look at this from Manu. Where's Tony? Whoop, there he is. Lays it up. That's
gorgeous.
beautiful. That's what I call a very solid play.
Excellent. Trey, you got a computer. Check the exchange rate from pesos to,
Okay, yeah.
to euros. We also have some fan signs. You asked the people. You said if you got a fan, you're going to the game. Hashtag the starters. You got a couple.
2 great signs. The first one comes from Serial Sign Cinderella, Michael in Miami. He's ready to see the starters do work. Great job, Michael. I'm sure he'll feature again this year.
Yeah,
But the
we see
second
this guy
sign-
every 3 nights.
The second sign is probably the cutest one we have ever had, and it comes from 6-year-old Lexi in Portland. What a beautiful sign, and it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Lexi. Thank you very much.
That is
Took
awesome.
care of the
Thanks.
Pellies.
Keep the signs coming. Guys, check us out on iTunes tomorrow morning, the hour-long podcast. It's called The Drop, and then we'll be back tomorrow night, Halloween special.
Thanks for joining us, folks. Please join us for our Halloween special tomorrow. And remember, tater tots for life doesn't actually mean tater tots for life.
Embrace the game time, people.